I'm Vicki.
And I'm Linda.
And we are Partners in Crime.
A little housekeeping. Click on the subscribe button and the bell button and you'll be notified every time we upload a video.
Linda is going to bring some interesting information about the Vallow, well, mostly Lori, and her past. So it's very interesting. Please comment. You know, a lot of these things we're just learning and reading, and if you know anything more, we really would appreciate it. So just comment on whatever you find.
And we are getting a microphone. I did order a microphone, so for everybody that wishes we had a microphone, we're getting one. Now we have to learn how to use it. So just let us know if we're not using it right. I'm sure you will. So now we're going to do our wine segment. And do you want to tell them about the wine we have today?
Well, this is a really cool wine called 19 Crimes. And we thought, how appropriate. And apparently, it's pretty popular. A lot of people know about it. This is a Chardonnay. And they have many, many different varieties of this. This is a hard Chardonnay, which means it has a little bit more alcohol in it. But they have a regular Chardonnay, and they have Shiraz, all kinds of neat wines under this 19 Crimes umbrella.
Yes.
So I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, let me try.
Very good.
Yep, I did have, I think I had the Shiraz in this 19 Crimes before, and I've had that, and it's pretty good. And I think with the label, there's something you can download on your phone, and you put it up to the label, and the person talks. So it's kind of interactive, too, which is pretty cool.
I haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, I've seen it happen, so.
But, of course, we tried the wine first.
Yes, yes. We're going to talk about Lori Vallow and her ex-husband, her third husband, I apologize, her second husband, and a complaint that she filed to the police department about him. And I know you've read it, Vicki. A lot of this stuff you can, like Vicki said, cross out the person's name and put Lori's name in it. So why don't you get us started with that?
Well, we actually read the complaint that Lori filed against William LaGioia. Is that how you say it?
I don't know how you just say his last name. That's as good as
we're going to get
pronunciation as I can do. So.
And the complaint is long.
And I will post that.
Okay.
I'll put a link for that in there.
It includes William and his father, Vito.
Stepfather.
His stepfather.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, she is accusing him of being a pathological liar, and he's a sociopath as far as she's concerned. Remember what Linda said. I think you can put her name in the complaint instead of William and Vito. She said he took advantage of her in every way. Financially, she did have a child with him.
That was Colby.
Colby Ryan turns out to be the son of William LaGioia. And we didn't hear much about William. We suspected that Colby may have been from their relationship, but we didn't really know that until now. And apparently he just neglected Colby and her.
She says.
So she says.
Okay.
Alone and on my own, I continue to work and take full responsibility for all my expenses. During our on-again, off-again relationship prior to our marriage, I worked and earned all of the house payments, paid all of the bills for rent, my car, food, and essentials. William did not contribute any financial support. During our relationship, I prayed that he would accept my religion, repent of his carnal, selfish, and sensual behavior, and become a Christian.
Okay, so her being, well, Lori, let's say Lori being an LDS Wonder Woman would never have done any of that, right? So,
Yeah.
sorry to stop you, but
That's all right.
you know.
She said William begged her to please attend his baptism in Brackettville. I guess that's where his home was
In
with
Texas,
his father.
yeah.
Because she had already separated from him.
Mm-hmm.
And give him one more chance to prove that he had changed, and promised that he would take responsibility as the man of the house and pay for the bills, primarily the car payments, so that I could stay home and take care of our baby.
She did find men that let her do that. So fast forward a number of husbands later.
She, in the complaint, she did file auto theft as one of the
Mm-hmm.
complaints.
Yeah.
Please take that out.
Yeah, that's coming.
So she said she went to Brackettville on July 13th, 1996. She drove herself and her 3-month-old baby, who she took care of all by herself with no husband and without any mental, emotional, or financial support from her husband or his family.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there, Vicki, because we both know, as being single mothers, we did the same thing, but we just did it, and we didn't complain about it.
No, but she could have really used the emotional support. It may have done a lot for her.
Maybe.
She says, looking back now, I was very naive because later I found out that my husband, William, deceived me and lied about his change of heart. He was actually living with another woman in Austin and using her car and sleeping with her and letting her pay all of the bills. His modus operandi of womanizing to get gain.
Well, I see a lot of Lori and Chad in that, but who am I to say?
Yeah, she's... yeah.
Ay, ay, ay.
And then, she says, even after all this, she moved in with him again.
She's a glutton for punishment for sure.
He immediately resumed his old ways, and he took the keys to her car against her will, and he hid her spare key so that she could not get access to it.
Where did we hear that before? She did that to Charles.
Mm-hmm.
When he came in on a flight, his car was not at the airport.
Mm-hmm.
And she took $35,000 out of their
his
account. So,
This she keeps talking about. She said, to her disappointment, William took possession and custody of her car. He had never paid a penny for any of the payments. And he used the car for his own personal agenda and leisure. He did not allow me to drive my own car. And she said every time she would ask to leave and go back to Austin, he would fight with her and physically hold the keys away from her. He kept me imprisoned in his residence.
I'm sorry, but there is a way. You have feet, you have legs. You can get out of there if you want. You could call a taxi. You know, a lot of issues with her not having the money that she wants, or her having the control of their car.
Yeah.
Or her car.
Right. So, I mean, there's a lot of back and forth between these two, and, you know, she just bashes him throughout their whole relationship here that
Yep.
she has in here.
And I have some more if you want to.
No, you go right ahead.
William did not keep his word to return my car or my belongings, so I and my baby suffered deprivation. William also used my baby's welfare card, Lone Star, for his own personal expenses. who used Charles's accounts, who used her daughter when she was no longer alive, who used her card.
Yeah. Yeah, I said you can put Lori's name in instead
Yep.
of theirs.
Yep.
And she also said that she left a job to go be with him where she was making $45,000 a year as a hairstylist. Somebody said, and I don't know where I saw this, that making $45,000 a year as a hairstylist back when this happened
That's a lot.
wasn't possible.
Yeah.
And what year was this? Do you know? Oh, 1996.
Yes,
It
because
was
that's when Colby
1996.
was born.
Right.
She said she called him repeatedly every day for the next week and a half to ask him to bring her belongings and to return her car. He made extension promises. There are a lot of typos in this. This is her words. That he would keep his word, but he lied again. He ignored my requests. I must be a slow learner because I finally realized William was a liar. He has no respect for God, for truth, or the law. Again, sounds like her. Mm-hmm. He and his stepfather, Vito, have a core of beliefs and their own rules of life that are antisocial and despicable. I think we can, again, put her name in there. They have no consciousness of guilt or wrongdoing. They believe they can lie and cheat and conspire to do evil or break the law and get gain without any consequences.
Yeah, she had no loss of words in this complaint.
No. And she did the same thing
to everybody
recently.
Else that she was involved with.
Yeah. Vito and William willfully and knowingly lied to a law enforcement officer while in the line of duty. She did too. Mm-hmm. They intended to defraud the finance company and keep the car for their own personal use and enjoyment without any incident of vested interest or ownership in my car on the false notion that they could get gain. I don't understand that. And use of my car, which they had stolen from me. They were assuming that they could use the car and defraud the finance company and blame me for the disappearance of the car. They tried to get me in trouble with the finance company by reporting false information about the whereabouts of the car for their own personal gain. The facts show that any reasonable person could conclude from the evidence that neither William, my husband, or Vito demonstrated any compassion for the well-being of me or my baby. Same thing with Tylee and JJ. Mm-hmm. They deprived me of my clothes, my personal belongings for me and my baby, which demonstrates that they are deprived of human kindness and compassion for the care of their own family members. He is void of any consciousness of right or wrong and lacks any virtue of good character. William's lifestyle is similar to a pathological liar and sociopath. He sees no wrong in using people for any purpose to get gain for his own needs and ambitions.
Well, is that calling the kettle?
Yep. He is unemployed and unskilled and has no marketable skills. I guess she does as a hairdresser. She made $45,000.
And why was she getting a welfare card for her child if she made $45,000? So didn't they look into that to see if that was a lie?
No, because she could lie all she wants. Nobody else can, but she can. Mm-hmm. William is void of any light and intelligence to know the difference between right and wrong. Okay.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So how did this complaint end up? Do we know what the outcome was?
Obviously, she said, obviously I am filing for divorce immediately. I also plan to file civil charges against the LaGioias to recover damages. So I don't know what happened. But we will post the whole thing because, yeah, she just goes on and on and on. There are like 10 other...
pages?
Not pages, but what are these? Paragraphs. Paragraphs that we could talk about.
Right.
And then we were going to talk about that. We also wanted to let you know that the judge determined that Lori's lawyer can still be her lawyer.
Oh, I did hear that.
Yes.
I did hear that.
You know, why that is, we don't know.
And we know that at the last hearing, the preliminary hearing, that the judge did allow video for the
Yes.
rest of the hearings that are coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But what I did notice at that hearing, that Lori wasn't there.
No, she wasn't.
Chad was there.
Mm-hmm.
All the attorneys were there, but not
Mhm.
Lori. So I'm wondering, do you think she's mad at Chad?
Maybe. Or can't
Because-
look at him because she knows she did all this because of him.
Right.
Well, I nobody does anything because of anybody. You have to make that decision.
Well, yeah, she believed him.
But, yeah.
She believed that, the world was coming to an end.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't end. So
Right.
could she be mad at him because of that?
Yep. And we will give updates. Next week is his preliminary hearing,
Mhm.
so I believe, because we do work, but I think I'll be able to watch it. Will you be able to watch it? And then we can post something, even if we just post, talk over it.
Now, I don't know if I'll watch it when it's actually happening, but
But I'll try to do it right after.
Yeah,
Just so
I
we
could-
can let you know,
definitely we'll see it online.
yeah,
So,
what happened. I'll try to do it as soon. I won't do a live video, but we'll try to do it right after.
right.
I don't know what bearing this has on anything, but there were 2 subpoenas for 2 special agents with the FBI, Salt Lake City, to appear for Chad's preliminary hearing. Special Agent Stephen Daniels and Special Agent Benjamin Dean. Don't know what that means, but they are going to be there as witnesses.
For the defense or for the prosecution?
I would imagine for the prosecution, since they are the special agents.
I would
So,
think.
Yeah. And then we did also see that Joseph Ryan's death seems to be officially under investigation. There was a toxicology report which was issued 6/8/20, and it was found by Vodka and Crime, that channel. So they put this out there. The report was issued 6/8/2020, so we know that they reopened this because the specimen, it was a liver specimen, was collected on 4/5/18. Joe died 4/3/2018. The liver tissue was used, like I said, and the drugs on the toxicology report, I'm going to let Vicki, I don't even want to attempt to say what these things are.
Okay, so I'm just thrilled that they are investigating this whole situation. Just another husband that died that she more than likely had something to do with. So the toxicology report examined his liver tissue, and the drugs that they found were ammobarbital, which is a sedative, it's a barbiturate, budobarbital, it's a sleep aid for anxiety, another barbiturate, budolibital, used for headaches, it's another barbiturate, citalopram, escitalopram, for depression and anxiety, and I believe that is the generic Lexapro. Norcyclobenzarpine is a muscle relaxant. Acetaminophen, which is Tylenol.
Yeah.
Caffeine, ibuprofen, an antihistamine, diphenhydramine.
Diphenhydramine or something.
Yeah, and another muscle relaxant, cyclobenzaprine. Now, my question is, was all this found in one study?
Yes, it was all found when they did the liver. I don't know anything about these drugs. I don't know if they could be taken at different times and they stay in the liver. If anyone knows what you use these for, I don't know if it could be a cocktail that you can use to have someone go to sleep and never wake up again. I don't know.
I would imagine, now, you having said that some of these drugs live in the system
For a while.
for a while after they're taken, because
But how long? That's the thing.
that, I don't know.
Yeah.
And
And why more than one type? I just wanted to put it out there. If somebody knows what these are used for, if you can put a combination together, obviously caffeine, he probably had coffee or something, Tylenol, ibuprofen, so they probably have been in the system for a while, just like the others.
Well, if he had a heart attack, that's what they said he died from.
Right.
I can't imagine that all of these drugs would be given to somebody that was predisposed to a heart condition, unless he wasn't predisposed.
Which we haven't heard of.
We don't know that, but I mean, that's enough to kill anybody. Actually,
if it's given at one time, yeah. We just don't know. Yeah. Again, we just wanted to put it out there, something we found. At least we know that death is being looked into as well.
Yes, finally.
Which is also a good thing.
Yeah.
It's just so many people have died in this situation.
We know that, now we know Joseph Ryan, her third husband?
Third, yes.
Is under investigation. Charles Vallow,
yes.
Her fourth husband. That murder is under investigation. And
her brother,
that is under investigation. And of course, the kids.
And Chad's wife.
Tammy, that's right. I hope they're putting together a solid case for all of this.
And we still haven't heard anything about Tammy's autopsy.
No. But those toxicology studies, they do take a long time. Now, I don't know how long it took them to come up with this, but...
Well, yeah, I don't think it was done until recently. Like I said, I think it was May, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was May that this was started, and then June is when they
issued the report?
They issued it, yeah.
And here it says that they collected it in April of 18.
Yeah, so it was collected because he died, and I guess because it was, nobody was around, nobody knew what happened, they thought it was a heart attack. A neighbor found him a week later, so I guess they had to take something to just keep just in case. And I just...
Now we do know
that's
that
what happened with
poor
that.
Joseph was laying dead for several weeks before anybody found him.
Yeah.
And his sister said when she read the death certificate or the report from the coroner, that they had a lot of things wrong.
Oh.
His height, his weight.
Well, that could be because, if nobody saw him for months.
That could be too.
Yeah.
But there were enough incidents in that report that made her question who did it. Why did they do this report? It seems so off the wall.
Yeah. And I am going to post a meme. Some people might get offended by this. I just thought this was hilarious, and I won't do this all the time. But once I post it, you'll know why. It's a picture of Chad and Lori, and it says, "The moral of our story is simple. Never mix a grave digger with a gold digger." I love it. So we will put that out there for you all to see as well.
Very good. Why didn't I think of that? I really like it.
It's awesome. So I guess that's all we have for you, right now. Yeah, so thanks for watching. We really, really appreciate you all. We love, like I said, everybody's conversations between each other, and we're getting comments from all over the world, South Africa and the Netherlands, and so thank you so much, everyone. We love you all and really appreciate you, and until next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.